Good morning, millennials.
Welcome back to The Toast and happy Monday. Feels very straight up, feels very honest and direct. Like it's Monday.
It's fair. It's a fair Monday. We earned it. Had a nice weekend.
Oh my God, booked and busy.
And this is technically like the first full week of the latter quarter of the year.
Oh, okay, latter quarter. I know that it's fall for a multitude of reasons. One, it's that type of weather where you walk to work and you first step out, you're like, oh, it's gorgeous. And then by the time you get there, you got like a little sweat under your armpits, like a little chilly. My control top tights are also peeking through my shorts. Like it's giving fall.
It is giving fall.
I've recently purchased tights without control top, which is seriously like, putting a man on the moon without an astronaut's uniform. Like it's so crazy. But seriously, I'm sick of my control top peeking out. It's so embarrassing.
No, and tights without control top have merit too. They
are worthy.
Too. Like, of course we need control top most of the time. But like sometimes you actually need more of the tight than the control. You might be wearing like a baggy short dress, hence no need for control top.
You're speaking my language, and I just bought more tights today without control top. It feels so wrong, but it looks so right.
Yeah, no, I completely support you in that.
And also, here, Sarah Blakely, instead of making those ugly shoes, do this. Why don't people make tights that are control top, but they don't have shorts? They just have top, like
That's
the belly
good too.
part.
That's good too.
The belly needs holding in. The thighs don't right now.
Yeah, or they do, but I'm gonna skip over that one.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea, Turtaloo.
We have so much to do today, okay?
We do.
We have to recap our weekends, which were chock full of goodness. We also, even though I was so busy, I watched so much TV.
Me too.
Finished The Perfect Couple. Did you?
Same.
Oh my God, I have so many mean thoughts that I absolutely have to share. And I just want to say none of them have to do with Megan Fahey or Liev Schreiber. What I share in my TV recap at the end of the show is not a reflection on them. I love both of them very dearly.
Yes, but the show needs to be dragged to filth considering how much we hyped it up. Like I actually feel like it's our duty to discuss the downfalls of that show.
And I started Hulu, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
As did I.
I only watched one episode so far. Ben coming in and he was like, oh, what is this? Like such a complainer. He was obsessed. He was like, I'm going to go walk Romy. I'm like, okay, bye. And then spoiler alert at the end of the first episode where like the police body camera footage, he comes back. He's like, will you pause it? He's obsessed. That
is so funny. I watched 2 episodes. I have so many thoughts and I have so many questions and I feel like you'll be able to answer some of them.
Okay, so we'll get into that in the TV recap. But how was your weekend, Jax?
My weekend was great. I mean, I feel like we should start with your weekend because you're kind of the face of Fashion Week.
Kind of, like, yeah. How scary for Fashion Week?
Club, another
How
bus,
scary for Fashion Week?
Another show, another outfit.
Yeah,
you didn't tell us. I feel like as a toaster, like I feel like you didn't tell us that you were so booked and busy for Fashion Week. Like you said you had like one thing.
It's only been like 4 events. And
it's giving multiple things.
It's giving multiple things. So many things happen to align with my schedule. Like I don't really do stuff on the weekdays like in normal times. Like my weekdays are for really recovering. I sleep so much during the week and I work so much during the week. Like I really don't like to do stuff. But there were so many fun things going on this weekend that I was like, why the fuck not? And so many of the brands like wanted to dress turds. So I'm like, okay, I'll go.
Like you didn't tell us they were dressing you. You didn't tell us you were going to fashion shows, front row. Also, just
I don't like to brag.
As a passive consumer, I'm like following some of my fave fashion girls in addition to you. And I'm just like seeing my sisters. Like I saw Margot in like someone else's carousel. I see you in the back of an Uber with the swirlies. I'm like, how do I not know that these are the things my sisters are doing?
So I think because we spent the entire summer out of the city, it's making me like so excited for fall in the city and everyone's here. It's like the best time in New York right now. Like everyone's here for Fashion Week. And so like all the restaurants that I usually go to, all the places I usually go to are even more fun. So I was like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm going out this weekend. Everyone was out and about. And I was right. Like I had a fucking blast.
Yeah, I felt like that's a jump scare. Like when you see your sister on your feed and not your sister's profile.
Of course. I'm sorry that you had to go through that. Let's just...
And it goes for really Margot too, but honestly, I expect it from Margot. I feel like we're so up each other's butts. Like, how did I not know that Turt was going to be everywhere all at once? But it was fun to watch.
Well, I had such a great weekend. I feel like my weekend was sort of like centered around Pookie and Jet.
Right.
So I'm like, was at an event on Friday and I saw Pookie and Jet and I seriously was like, I have to meet them. And I know that she's like a toaster and she like was way before she like blew up. So she would like, you know, real recognizes real.
Yeah.
What I wasn't expecting was to be so dazzled by Jet. And Jet is like an OG girl with no job, boy with no job fan. Like he was so excited to meet us. We were so excited to meet him. It was so everything. And it was just like a perfect meet. And I got Pookie's number. And then she was like, by the way, we have like dinner reservations. We have 2 extra seats. Do you and Ben want to join? And I felt like I had been asked to the prom by the coolest girl, you know, at school. I was giddy. I'm like, Ben, I had plans. And shout out to Taylor Strecker for being so real. I was like, Taylor, I can't. Like, I have this. And she was like, of course.
Yeah.
She's so real for that. And we went out to dinner with them on Saturday night and we had literally the best time. It was like a 4-hour dinner. Oh my God, I was laughing so much. Like that Jet, he's hysterical. Like
I believe it.
No, he's so funny. And him and Ben are so similar. Like they're both obsessed with food, obsessed with travel, like real cosmopolitan
Southern
men.
Ben.
He is non-Jewish Ben.
Yeah. Ben
like if
from
Ben
the
wasn't
South.
Jewish, yep. 1,000%. And she is so delightful and beautiful and stylish and pregnant. So we were talking a lot about that. It was just like kind of a perfect double date. Like we left the restaurant at past midnight.
Look at
Obsessed.
you. That's really fun.
And you know me, when I go out to dinner, if it's not like with my family, I'm counting down the minutes.
It's
I'm
not
like,
the
get me out of
Irish
here.
exit, it's the Turdies exit. The Irish stole it from her.
No, and I always feel like meals are like 45 minutes too long. Like there comes
Just like
a time
you
where
feel
I'm like,
about movies.
Yes, I'm like, we should have been out of here 45 minutes ago. I was so sad to be leaving the restaurant with the Pooksters and Jet.
Damn, that's really fun.
And her name is Campbell, and I feel like I want to call her by her real name.
Because I feel like her friends call her Campbell. So if you're calling her Pookie, it's like you're clearly just like an internet observer. But if you're a friend, it's Campbell.
No, and I feel as though people know them from the internet and maybe wonder what they're like in person. And I can tell you firsthand, like they're exactly the same and exactly what you would expect them to be. She's like very elegant. He is like so like from a different time period. And it's just amazing to see them. And they love each other so much.
That's
it's amazing.
Always so nice to hear.
Yeah, and then the restaurant we were at, Polar Bar poppin', you know? That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
It's the best time to be in the city. I thought for sure I was going to see Taylor and Travis because they were like spotted out a few hours before. And Polar Bar is like, you know, such a hot spot. No, she wasn't there.
Yeah, they were getting busy in the city as well. Plus Fashion Week, plus US Open. It's just like, it was a big week in the city.
It was a big week in the city and it's just fabulous. Like I saw so many celebrities this weekend everywhere.
That's really fun. Any highlights, standouts?
You know who I met? Patrick Schwarzenegger. Mm-hmm. And he's engaged to a model. She's like a supermodel. And he's obviously like so handsome, Nepo King. And they have just been announced as the faces of Tommy Hilfiger. And I think it's like making a lot of waves in the fashion world. And they were with someone that I knew. And so I obviously am like a loser and went over and said hi. And they were so cool and so nice, like asking so much about our podcast. They were like, we love podcasts. I was like, you do? I'm like, listen to the toast. That was a highlight. Like very cool. Yeah, very cool. Just kind of, you know, rubbing elbows with the New York elite.
You are the New York elite. They were rubbing elbows with you.
You said it. You said it.
Well,
and then I had like a big family simcha, last night.
Right.
Ben's sister got engaged like a couple of weeks ago, so we had the l'chaim yesterday. So fun, so nice. Like really kind of, I had all the buckets. I had family time. I had a lot of bed rotting time because I was able to watch A Perfect Couple in full. And then I had a lot of fabulous moments as well.
That's great when all your buckets are filled.
Exactly.
It was a bucket filling weekend.
Which bucket did you fill the most?
Oh, I filled the family bucket the most, as you would expect. Very similarly, had a similar experience here. We actually have a major update. I don't even know if I told you this, but like a major update in my life.
About the air conditioning?
No.
Okay. Like,
actually, something
serious?
I think you'll be even more interested in, and I feel like other
let me
people.
think.
It has to do with the boys.
The loves of my life. You're moving back to New York, and they're going to live with me, and you and Zach are going to live far, far away. And we'll still remote podcast, my favorite. But your children will live with me. Is that it?
No, close. Okay. We are weaning off pacifiers.
Oh my God. Okay.
This is a major update. I don't know if I've even shared this. I don't think that I have, but like Harry is the passy king. You've never seen a child like have more passies, be more into passies, like passies 24/7. It's never something that bothered me. And like, it still doesn't bother me. I don't know. I just like woke up the other day. I feel like Charlie always took a passy, but wasn't as like obsessed as Harry, but he's becoming more obsessed. So I was like, maybe it's time to take them away. So Saturday was day 1 of Patsy removal. Oh my God.
Did you go cold turkey?
No, it's only for sleeping.
Okay.
So when
you get the Patsy in the crib.
You get the Patsy in the crib, and they stay in the crib. That. And during the day, no Patsy. And if you want your Patsy... I sent
you that TikTok hack. They say if you like take a push pin and put it in the like silicone part that they suck, it removes the air, and there's no longer any like that oral fixation where you're like, mwah, mwah,
yeah.
Mwah. That's removed.
Maybe I'll do that when I'm trying to quit crib Passy.
Yeah.
But right now, if I did that, he'd just be like, I don't like this one.
Give me a new one, wench.
So we did cold turkey during the day. And it's going like totally fine. They asked, he asked for it sometimes. Yeah. And I just like say, oh, well, it's for sleepy time. Like, do you want to go to sleep? And he's like, no. And then we just like distract him. So it can be done. And it's really not been so crazy, but it's been a major, like if you knew, I probably have like 50 Passies and like everything is Passies everywhere in my house.
I found Passies in my apartment. I found Passies in the stuff that I packed. Like Passies everywhere. And there's obviously nothing wrong with Passies, but your kids are so like cute. I'm like, get that thing out of your mouth. I want to see your whole face.
Yeah, and you want to hear them talk. But for me, I took a Passy as a child for a long time. So that's why and I'm like, oh, look at me. I'm fantastic. So it's never been something that bothered me. Also, I feel like I prefer Passy over thumb sucking or finger sucking because like I think you can clean the Passies.
Yeah.
But it just felt like time, especially as like Charlie was only getting more into them. I'm like, it's only going to make it harder. Like now's the time.
Damn. Boys are going through rehab, through withdrawals. Yeah. Send them my love.
But it's going okay. So if you've been like putting it off, the daytime, nighttime distinction, like so far is so good.
And like, okay, so let's say it never gets any better than this. Like they just suck on Patsies till they're old and gray. Like, okay, no one can see them in their beds.
Yeah, like people wear like that whole contraption on their face.
Well, yeah, they do that because they have a disease and they could die in their sleep if they don't. But similar, yeah.
Yeah, or like a night guard. Everyone's got their thing.
Do you see these grown-ass adults with their ratty-ass blankies?
Right.
That don't get washed and they're literally disgusting. And you know what? I've like had a diatribe about this for a while because I see people on social media like sharing theirs. And I know that it's like a topic like I'm going to get canceled for. People are like, you are mean. But I just want to say some of the things that you guys sleep with, not me. I don't do this. I see people with their blankies. It's seriously, if your blankie is being held together by threads, like throw it away. It's time.
I can't believe you even have to say that.
Oh, no, Jackie, like emotional support blankie.
You told me about this a while ago. I've never heard of it.
It's literally, it's strings. Like someone will pull out this dirty brown thing. It's literally just like 5 strings. And someone's like, what is that? You're like, it's my baby blanket. What?
Yucky.
Yeah. Sick culture.
Yeah.
So that's a huge, I'm really proud of you.
Yeah. That was a big milestone event. Other than that, cooking.
Not as good as you dropping the kids off and moving to Iceland, but that's fine.
Other than that, cooking, bacon, play, and the usual.
Everything.
Yeah. But it was a really fun weekend, and I'll keep you guys posted.
It's really like a huge...
Maybe we should all do it together. But also, like, no pressure. I didn't like when people were, like, pressuring me, like, when are you going to get... Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I definitely asked.
You were a little bit, like, being that way.
But just know, the Patsies got in the way of my affection. Like, I couldn't give them as many kisses because they were always sucking on those fucking Patsies. Like, I didn't like it. And I also, like, I need the whole face. You know, I don't want half the face covered with this plastic thing. Like, get it out so I can look at you.
Yeah, no, it is nice. Also, we call them Patsies, if you hear me saying that. Like, Patsy.
Patsy Clyde.
Patsy Clyde, yeah.
Yeah, that's the vibe.
So that's what's new with me. Everything else that's new with me was TV that I watched this weekend and like so many thoughts and feelings that I had. So I'm really excited to get into the show, to recap it. And also the Fast 5 stories.
Yep.
We must discuss as well. That was like the rest of the weekend.
We must discuss.
So without further ado,
yeah,
it is time for the Fast 5 stories that you need to know.
And the Fast 5 stories that you need to know are brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. If you've ever wanted to bet on sports and felt intimidated, we totally get it. How do you get started? How do you literally do it? And with so many options, who can you trust? Well, our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, are making it easier than ever. There's nothing easier than betting on touchdowns, and DraftKings Sportsbook is the #1 place to bet on touchdowns. Placing your first bet is super simple. You go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, select a sport like NFL, and then select an option like touchdown scorers, pick who you think will be scoring the most, and place your bet. You know me, I'm well versed in football culture, so like, yeah, I'm gonna pick Travis Kelce, but like I'm also going a little deep, like I'm going George Kittle, you know, because I'm Debo Samuels, because I'm not like other girls and I really like understand football. So if you're ready to do a touchdown dance of your own, the new DraftKings offer where customers bet $5 to get $250 in bonus bets instantly is super fabulous. Download the DraftKings DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use our code TOAST, that's code TOAST, for new customers to get $250 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-78-9777. Or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources, visit dkng.co/ftball. Today's episode is also brought to you by Thrive Cosmetics. Yeah, I'm wearing their lip and eye products today. So whether you like fresh face, full glam, or somewhere in between, you've probably seen Thrive Cosmetics Viral Tubing Mascara. You know the one in the turquoise tube all over your socials. It's super easy to see why it's their bestseller and has thousands of 5-star reviews. I can personally attest to this mascara being the only mascara that has worked for me. Kind of one of my plights in life. I was just talking about this because I had glam over the weekend. She was like, wow, you have such long lashes. I'm like, just wait till you try and like put mascara on them. Like, I have such long lashes, but they're so straight that even putting mascara on, like, it never gives that full cat eye like volume effect until I found the Thrive Cosmetics tubing mascara. I bought it off of a Facebook ad a couple of years ago. I love that they're a sponsor because I can really speak to my obsession with this mascara. I wear it every single day on red carpets, on tour. I wore it on stage. I wear it to the show. It is seriously like that good, and it's really easy to take off too. They also have highlighter eyeshadow combos that really make like that inner corner highlight and then that under your brow bone highlight really pop. Super easy to, very precise to use. The tubing mascara instantly creates the look of lash extensions without clumping, flaking, or smudging. It's super easy to remove. It slides right off with warm water and doesn't leave smudges. Nourishing ingredients support longer, stronger, and healthier looking lashes over time. So refresh your everyday look with Thrive Cosmetics, beauty that gives back. Right now you can get an exclusive 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/toast. That's Thrive, CAUSEMETICS.com/toast for 20% off your order. Today's episode is also brought to you by Boll & Branch. Build the coziest bed imaginable with Boll & Branch bedding made with the finest 100% organic cotton. Starting with Boll & Branch, their bestseller, which is the signature sheets, are buttery, breathable. They get softer with every wash. I can attest to that. I just got a new pair, but the sheets I had the signature collection in just white. I had for years, and I wanted to change up the color. Now I got a combo of the natural and the sand because I feel like it's very earthy. I'm loving it, by the way. I take my bed really seriously. I think it's important that bed is where I invest personally. I think it's the most important place. It's my kitchen. It's my office. It's my, media room. My bed is everything to me. I'm a bed person, and so I require the best of the best. And Boll & Branch makes the softest bedding you'll ever find with 100% of the finest organic cotton. They have been, slept in by many U.S. presidents, 2 award-winning podcast hosts. They are loved by millions, and they offer free design consultations so you can build your dreamiest bed with a dedicated stylist. Best of all, Boll & Branch gives you a 30-night worry-free guarantee with free shipping and returns on all U.S. orders of $100 or more. So start getting your best sleep this fall with Boll & Branch and enjoy 15% off plus free shipping on your first set of sheets at bollandbranch.com with our promo code TOAST. That's BOLLAND branch, bollandbranch.com, promo code TOAST for 15% off and free shipping. That's code TOAST. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
Thank you, Turt.
Pleasure.
Our first story, Taylor and Travis news as they took New York this weekend. Multiple outings, multiple outfits, multiple sightings. So biggest news, they went to the U.S. Open, Sunday night's finals. The night before, they went to a wedding at Electric Lady Studios.
So, Electric Lady Studios is like the premier recording studio in New York. Like if you stand outside, you'll see someone. Everyone records Lady Gaga, Taylor Swift. And the owner of it got married, and I guess he got married at the studio. I don't know what it looks like inside, but how do you have a wedding in a recording studio?
No, it's definitely a good question.
Okay.
Especially
maybe there's like a rec
wedding.
room. I don't know. But Taylor was there. So was Karlie Kloss.
Yes, I saw.
Lana Del Rey, lots of people who record there.
Like, how many people can fit at a wedding in a recording studio?
I need visuals on the inside. Like, is there a rec room attached? Like, I don't get it.
I don't get it either, but very exciting that they went to a wedding together. Is this the first wedding that they've gone to?
Yeah. Margaret Qualley and Jack Antonoff was just her, right? Yeah. She went with Channing Tatum and
Zoe Kravitz.
Thank you. Oh my God, I just had an actual stroke.
Yeah. So that's always good for a relationship to go to a wedding. One, it's a major milestone, but two, it definitely gets you thinking about some things.
It's sort of like the elephant in the room.
Yeah. Who's next? Maybe us.
Yeah. Soon by you. Soon by you. That's what old Jewish ladies say at the wedding. Soon by you.
She looked darling. She was wearing a Zimmerman dress.
She looked darling. She's kind of been killing the outfits in New York this week. I love what she wore to the U.S. Open, like a red gingham dress, like so sporty.
And this Reformation.
She's so regular.
She's like two for two off the rack. But then she wore Gucci to dinner with the Mahomeses. But it was a very Gucci evening for them because Travis and Brittany were like head to toe Gucci. Taylor was wearing a Gucci bag at the U.S. Open. And then at dinner that night, like she wore a whole Gucci fit.
Well, also a big part of this story is they were in the same box at the U.S. Open as the Mahomeses. And I think a lot of people, and I didn't think it at the time, and now I don't think it even more, but her and Brittany didn't sit together at the Chiefs game on Thursday. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people were like, that was Taylor distancing herself from Brittany. Because I guess Brittany Mahomes over the week, like on social media, like announced that she's voting for Trump or something.
She liked to post. She liked to post. And then she
got like backlash.
Yeah. And then she didn't apologize. She posted like a snarky meme instead.
And so I think people were like, Tree Payne and Taylor are keeping her away from Brittany. Like, and I actually think Travis just had his own box for his family. The first game, it's like a big thing. Yeah. She was with his parents. And then like literally right after the game, they all flew to New York together. So like, I don't think there's bad blood. And yes, the Gucci looked like a sponsorship. Like,
I was actually thinking before last night, her weekend, she was wearing like all these Louis Vuitton bags. And I thought she was like, I was looking like maybe she'll be the new face of Louis Vuitton, and now it's all Gucci.
No, you know Gucci what I would love?
Gucci bag.
Gucci did that campaign with Kendall and Bad Bunny where they were like running through the airport wearing all Gucci. And I think they did it with like other couples too. That would be really cute if they became like the face of a brand. That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Although I don't think there's a brand that can seriously pay Taylor Swift what she's worth.
Perhaps.
She's like literally too famous.
Yeah, unless it's like Apple.
Like they would never, yes, because they would never make like Obama. Like she's as famous as Obama. Like would they ever make Obama the face? Like you couldn't pay him enough.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's no marketing budget big enough for Taylor Swift.
Except for the $1 trillion companies. Amazon, Apple, Tesla.
Alibaba.
Temu. Yeah.
And Doug.
And then also we need to talk about Taylor and Travis at the U.S. Open because they were being like very PDA. They were having a lot of fun. They were singing. But then there's also been this conversation like their behavior was inappropriate for the tennis match.
She was in a suite, by the way. So like you are afforded privacy. And yeah, every camera on the planet is on her. But in the actual real world of where she was in the physical being, no one was looking at her like she was afforded more privacy. And also like, please, like just shut up, okay? How about you just shut up?
Yeah. Also, they're playing music. If it's fun enough that you can play music, like why can't you dance? Don't play music if you don't want me to dance.
And I can understand Taylor because I just was at the U.S. Open and I too was sucking down those honeydeuces. Honeydeuce is the official cocktail of the U.S. Open, and I actually had never had one up until this year because they're vodka. And I've always been very loyal to tequila, but I don't know if I've even spoken about this journey on the podcast. Like I'm really opening myself up to vodka. Taylor Strecker has kind of influenced me because I had Cosmos with her and they were so delicious. So this year I was like, Ben, I'll try it because Ben is like, it's also, so
when
good.
In Rome, you have to have one.
Jackie, they're fucking delicious. Like they don't even taste like vodka. I sucked down 4 and then I found out they were like 250 calories each. I'm like, oh my God, I had 1,000 calories in alcohol. Whatever. When in Rome.
Whatever.
I think she was sucking down those honeydeuces and like got a little lit because they hit you very slowly. You don't even realize. You're like, oh, there can't be any alcohol in here. It tastes like juice.
Yeah.
So good.
But I think that's also just who she is. Like at award shows, she's dancing. Like she likes to dance. She likes to
know what it is?
I know everyone's always watching her all the time, but she likes to, as much as she can, like act like no one's watching.
Yes, but she also, and I think this is part of her success, like she loves music. Like that's her thing. Like
she has
so
a
when
song
music is
in
playing,
her heart.
She's gonna sing it. She's gonna dance it. There was this video of them that went viral singing the song. Like I actually don't know.
I believe in the thing called love.
Oh yeah. And like, of course, she knew every single word. So did he. Maybe it's like their song. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I thought the same thing.
And he was making a lot of news because he has like a Mario Luigi mustache and he has his hair slicked back. People were like, he looks like he's gonna make it a pizza. I want to say, best look yet. He can't look ugly.
Let me just tell you, I saw about 10 photos of them, different photos, before I even noticed him.
I totally
When people are like, look at his look, I'm like, oh, what? I have to do a double take. Like, I literally don't look. I'm looking at what she's wearing and he's just there. Like, who's
1000%.
evaluating his fashion choices? Seriously, not me. I could give a rip.
I can give a rip.
His hat at the U.S. Open's funny. I was like, he's wearing a hat?
I also love that, like, we were saying how she's off work now, right? Like, it's his time. He's focusing on football. Like, she's going to be in Kansas City and just, like, you know, making music from his house. Like, no, the game is over. They flew to New York. I told you, New York's on fire this week.
Yeah.
U.S. Open, Fashion Week, dinner, this, bus club. I love that they are not just, like, you know, settling down. She's like, no. I want to be seen. I want to be fabulous.
And he loves
love
that too. He loves that
yeah.
too. It's not like he's like a homebody.
No, Travis is a party boy.
He is, lest we not forget.
And as long as it doesn't impact his performance,
right,
it's all good. And so far it hasn't. Oh, speaking of, is the Super Bowl performer a story?
Yeah, it's our next story.
Okay.
And then also, so the men's finals is the game that they were at, and
the American underdog also
Morg's boyfriend.
Thank you. I was trying to say, like, also a part of the influencer wars.
Yeah, the influencer tennis wars, but also the influencer tennis wars like are really heightened at the U.S. Open because like all the influencers are there. Then you have like the tennis wags. Then you have like the men who are actually playing tennis, and there is a war on the court. Mm-hmm. It's a lot. I only knew because Taylor was there that Taylor Fritz was in the final against Yannick Sinner. Mm-hmm. Yannick won.
He was a huge underdog. This is the furthest he'd made it in a Grand Slam. So I think making it to the finals was a big W for him, you know?
Yeah.
And he beat, in the game before this, he had beat someone he had like wanted to beat his whole fucking career. So I think it's all good for him. Like, this is major for Morgs too. And everyone was rooting for him because it was like a real underdog, and he was American and the other player wasn't. So I would have loved for him to win, but seriously, like, it was an honor for, I think, just to be there. I think he would say the same.
But I feel like if he had won, then Taylor and Travis like would have like went backstage
Morgs,
and congratulated
yeah,
him, and Taylor and Morgs like would have met.
I feel like they might have met still, even though he lost. Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Yeah. So that was fun, the U.S. Open.
Everything
and I
they
just want to
did.
say, the influencers like really showed up and showed out. The pictures. How does everyone get those fantastic tennis stand pictures? Like, not the ones they take of themselves, but like where it looks like a paparazzi took them.
It is. There's so much media at the U.S. Open. And so when you have that's what I was wondering about Taylor and Travis too, which box they were in, because every box is spoken for. There's the Emirates box, the Grey Goose box. I think a lot of the big brands have, but then a lot of the big talent agencies have too. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, that represent the biggest athletes, the biggest music artists. So you go with someone. And I was curious what suite they were in, because they took up the whole thing. They brought Haim, they brought all their friends. I don't know whose suite it was, but when it comes to those paparazzi pictures, the brand will tell media, like, if you know, to pay attention to our suite, we've got X, Y, and Z coming.
Got it. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice little ecosystem.
It is. They've got a good thing going on at the U.S. Open. Yeah. I will say it's fabulous.
It really is, and it's
a gorgeous affair. Everyone gets dressed up.
Mm-hmm. It was really nice.
Yeah.
Our next story, Super Bowl halftime show performer is announced, and it's Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar will be headlining the 2025 Super Bowl halftime show. Apple Music and the NFL announced the news on Sunday via Instagram with a photo of Kendrick sitting on a football field in front of an American flag background. The big game will be hosted at the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans on February 9th, 2025.
So, like, the rumors that were basically confirming that Miley was doing it were just a big fat lie.
Oh,
or maybe she was, like, thrown in the mix.
I forgot about that, and now I'm disappointed.
So here's the thing. I'm not, like, a listener of Kendrick Lamar music, so I obviously would have preferred someone else. But I think for people who love Kendrick Lamar, and that's literally so many people, this is huge, and I'm really happy for them. I do wish the NFL had taken the opportunity, because this is now, we're going into the second year where it's really, football is becoming for the girls, right? Everyone's getting involved.
Yeah.
And now, of course, I would have loved to have Taylor, but whatever, you can't have everything. I think if they had like leaned in a little bit, that would have been really cool. Like having like a glitzy, glammy, girly moment, I would have liked that. And I think it would have been nice. Like it almost felt like, yeah, they're welcoming us in.
Yeah.
But I think they also are very conscious to not alienate their core OG fans who like fucking hate us. I don't know. This is just not for me because I don't listen to Kendrick Lamar, but I think that like in the context of like the culture, it's a very good choice.
Yeah, he's the #1 rapper, so that's
right.
That's good. Strong choice. a lot of people will be
Strong
excited
choice.
about this. I wonder, people then, of course, wonder if he's going to bring out anyone. He has bad blood with Taylor.
He has a song with Beyonce. You know, Beyonce, like, doesn't show up anywhere, but she's more likely than not to show up at the Super Bowl.
I think
She's
Beyonce's more
there.
likely to perform at the halftime show than Taylor. Because I think for Taylor, if she's performing at the halftime show, it's her halftime show.
Because she never has.
And I think that she doesn't want to, like, if Travis is in the game, she doesn't want to be working the game. And if he's not in the game, like, she doesn't want to be there without him. I just think it doesn't really make sense. And especially to just come out and perform one song. So hopefully it'll be a jolly good show.
Hopefully it'll be a jolly good show and that the Niners will win. Bang, bang.
Bang,
Oh, by the way,
bang.
tonight, I have no plans, thank God. 8:15, Niners versus Jets. My two teams.
Oh, that's exciting. The Cowboys won yesterday. Also exciting.
That's amazing.
And
That's
I think
amazing.
the Dolphins won.
That's huge. Big day for Florida.
I have a lot of teams that I like. So if any one is lagging behind, I'm never too disappointed.
Right. I love the Buffalo Bills because I think Haley Steinfeld and Josh are like the cutest couple, seriously, ever to have walked the earth. Taylor and Travis over in Kansas. Niners have my heart. Jets and Giants. I don't like have like a liking towards the Giants really, but New York is New York, you know?
Yeah.
You know, if the Atlanta Falcons are playing, I feel a lot of nostalgia for when Corey Bierman was on the team. Like,
That's
I
a
could really,
stretch. That's a
I could
stretch.
connect. No,
Oh,
I
I
could
can
connect.
to any team, but like as far as like teams that I would buy their jerseys, like there's like 5 I'd feel comfortable wearing.
Yeah, I don't think I would buy an Atlanta jersey. That's fair.
Right, but you're happy to see them win.
But you know, Corey Bierman also had a very brief stint on the Bills. So I would buy a Bills jersey.
Well, it's
Josh
New
Allen.
York.
It's New York, and I love Josh Allen. Like, I just think he's so cute and sweet. And nobody, like, please don't leave a comment about something mean he once did. Like, I don't want to know.
Yeah, about like his ex-girlfriend.
Please,
We
like,
left on the
please.
side of the road for Haley Steinfeld. We've already told you we don't care.
Pregnant?
Pregnant?
No, I don't know. I can just imagine. Like, please. I don't want to know. Don't look at me. I don't know a thing.
Are you ready for our next story?
Yes, but I want to say this really quickly because I'm going to forget it. And we're not going to get into the perfect couple recap. But that female detective should have been played by Alex Bornstein, Miss Ungermeyer.
I have a special place in my heart for that female detective actress because she was in the show Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and I don't feel like she gets her flowers enough. So I love her.
Really? Oh, I think she got too many flowers. I thought she was horrible. Like, seriously, she shouldn't have been cast.
Well, in the context of all much that came before her, it wasn't good.
Okay.
And like, why
Okay.
are they putting a Boston accent on her when she doesn't have one and nobody else had to change their accent, really? They just were like, any accent.
Right, so I think a lot
come
of
from
people
anywhere.
are like, oh, Nicole Kidman was the main character in the show. Really, I think like the accents were. It was seriously such a hodgepodge of weirdness. We'll get into
We'll
it.
get into it because I have so many thoughts about the accents. Anyways.
So weird.
Our next story, also making news this weekend, was the TIFF festival.
The TIFF.
The TIFF, Jennifer Lopez and Matt Damon were seen holding hands during an intimate conversation at the TIFF amid Ben Affleck divorce. So this picture is like making major waves.
So the TIFF is the Toronto International Film Festival.
Yes.
Just like,
yes, and I love the TIFF.
I know, you're kind of obsessed.
Yeah, anything that comes out of the TIFF, like I'm first in line.
She waits all year for the TIFF.
Waiting all year for Tiffy.
TIFF.
TIFF.
Tiffy, you're Tiffy-O.
Jennifer, are you ready for
This
deets?
picture is like kind of crazy.
And what is J-Lo doing at the TIFF?
Looking like $1 million. She looked amazing. And it's so funny. I saw like a tweet because I had the same thing. I saw her in this dress, like looking so hot. And she had straight hair, like straight hair is having a moment. And the tweet was like, I love how J-Lo like looks fire and we're all back on her team. Cause I'm seriously like, I'm riding for J-Lo now.
I wasn't ever not, especially after this picture. It tells like kind of a story that
Yes, it does.
J-Lo and Matt Damon were photographed holding hands during an intimate conversation at the TIFF amid her divorce from his best friend, Ben Affleck. The pair shared a sentimental moment while having a private chat at an after party to celebrate their new movie, Unstoppable, which premiered on Friday. She stars in the project, which was produced by Matt and Ben's company, Artists Equity. So in the picture, they're like seen in a quarter sitting on a couch, talking and holding hands. So it's obviously like a friendly, I'm here for you sort of conversation.
It paints her as like the victim in the divorce,
Yes.
which I think is garnering a lot of sympathy because if that's his best friend, like he's obviously going to be on Ben's side, he's going to be holding Ben's hand.
Right. And it's always the best friend who's actually like madder at the ex than even the guy himself. And same for girls.
Right. Like you feel so defensive and protective of your friend.
So if he's like holding her hand, shouldering her through this, like it just makes me think that like, I don't know, it's not something. like, I don't know, just paints a picture that like he did something.
I agree. And I think between the dress and this photo, like this officially marks her comeback. And I think Katy Perry has been really, really helpful. I think Katy Perry's been really helpful in expediting her comeback because, you know, we're always like hating on one person, right? Mm-hmm. It's Katy Perry right now. And like it puts into perspective, like what has J-Lo ever done except like be a believer in love and kind of cringe?
I have not been hating on J-Lo whatsoever.
No, me neither.
No, I feel like we've been very defensive of her, except for the birthday party.
Yeah, except for the birthday party with the Bridgerton theme.
Like, that's neither here nor there.
Neither.
That could have happened regardless of Ben.
Yeah.
But she believes in a thing called love.
She does.
And I do feel like something, and we said, like, to get married and divorced after 2 years, not have a prenup, so like you expected probably to be married for longer. I feel like something happened and he did something. What did he do?
Well, the reports recently have been saying that like he seriously packed up his stuff and just left, like no explanation, just like decided he didn't want to be married anymore. Now I don't know how much we believe like the Daily Mail reports, but I can kind of see it. And then he's like, Matt Damon's over here consoling, like, sorry you got married, and the man disappeared. He literally like ghosted you.
Yeah, he seems moody.
He seems moody. Yeah, you could say.
It's an understatement, but I could see it.
Yeah, like it's giving Moody's point.
It is.
I could see it as well. So, and I think Matt Damon is a pee-jam. So funny, when I was posting on, not to make everything about me, when I was like posting pictures for my dinner with Pookie and Jet, so many DMs were like, oh my God, I thought Jet was Matt Damon. Like, I guess that might be his like celebrity look like. And you know what? I kind of see it.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah.
Are you ready for our next story? Mm-hmm. Some very exciting news. I don't know if you've seen this yet, but 2 new entrants into the EGOT Hall of Fame.
Benj Pasek.
And Justin Paul, a.k.a. Pasek and Paul, earn...
Oh, both of them, duh.
Both of them earn an EGOT after their 2024 Emmy Award win for Only Murders in the Building tune. So Pasek and Paul are the musical geniuses behind Greatest Showman, La La Land, and something else. Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh, of course. That's like how they got started.
Right. And now they are EGOT winners because they wrote a tune for Only Murders in the Building. But in the past, they won Tony Awards for the score to Dear Evan Hansen and producing the best musical, A Strange Loop. They have 2 Grammys for Dear Evan Hansen's cast album and for The Greatest Showman's compilation soundtrack, and an Oscar for penning the lyrics to City of Stars from La La Land. So now they are EGOTs.
And joining the likes of, you know, who's most recent? Jennifer Hudson,
Elton John,
and John Legend,
Viola Davis, and Alan
Queen.
Menken.
One thing about Alan Menken is like Alan Menken serves. He slays. Like Alan Menken is that bitch.
Alan Menken like shows up to work, gets it done, doesn't complain, doesn't make a show of himself, puts out firework and goes home.
And Alan Menken also like has the privilege of being able to go to the grocery store, probably unbothered. Right. Maybe one person will say something, but he can live his life, and he's probably so rich.
Yeah. So I'm really Pasek and Paul. Like I couldn't think of 2 worthier people.
I mean, I think I know the answer to this question, but what do you think is Pasek and Paul's greatest work, Greatest Showman?
On a person, yes, but like Dear Evan Hansen's soundtrack and play are Gargy Pargy.
The music from Dear Evan Hansen is like some of the, and you know, like I don't like love plays. So good.
So good. And then La La Land just like didn't capture me, but I can say objectively like it was amazing. Just for me, I missed it. It passed me by.
What is to us like, you know, Greatest Showman Hairspray is to most people like our age, like for a lot of people, La La Land like changed the landscape of musicals, of media, like of life. For me, I was like, oh, it's cute. I like that thing they did in the opening scene where like they shut down the freeway. Like I don't know, it didn't hit for me.
Yeah, I like that, but probably because like I stopped watching after that part. But
right.
I don't know why. Yeah, it didn't capture me. You would think that it would. It's just like a little silly. Let's get real.
I don't know. It just like it had like that sort of sepia tone filter.
It was
on
honestly
the film.
like stupid. Like the more I remember it, like I actually it was bad.
Jackie, speak your truth. Like I feel like you're kind of circling the drain, not wanting to offend. Like
no, just because
Schroeder.
I can recognize that people like loved something about it, and I wouldn't want like my yum to be yucked. But like,
it's true.
I did watch the whole thing in earnest, like ready to be wowed. I love a movie musical more than anyone. And like, why was it so bad? Like, what story? What were they even saying in it? What time period was it in? And like, what were they even doing?
It was modern.
Was it? They didn't have like cell phones.
I just think they weren't like addicted to their,
No, in the car, like I feel like it was. What was even the moral of the story?
I don't know, because like they didn't end up together.
Did they? Did we? Were they dating?
Were they not? I don't know. I saw the movie like 1.5 times.
What were they doing? I don't know.
I'm not entirely sure, but like happy for Pasek and Paul.
Happy for Pasek and Paul. And a little more movie musical news in the same story is that The Phantom of the Opera is being adapted as a YA movie from Kenny Ortega at Disney Plus.
I'm sorry. YA?
Like they're remaking Phantom of the Opera for young adults.
By the way, I know what YA means. Thank you.
Why YA is the question?
How and why?
I mean, I never saw it. Not that I'm a young adult, but like they're repackaging it. They're putting a Kenny Ortega sprinkle on it so that it will be palatable to a younger generation. Like, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I've never seen Phantom of the Opera, which I think might shock some people. Even though I feel like I'm dressed today, like I'm in Phantom of the Opera.
You do look fancy today. I meant to mention.
We have like kind of a big thing.
Yeah, we do.
After this.
We do.
So, yeah.
I just feel like when someone looks fancy, like we have to give them their flowers.
Thank you so much. Yeah. And I'm wearing the shoes that we bought together.
Obsessed.
I believe in a thing called love. What were we talking about?
Kenny Ortega is redoing Phantom of the Opera. So if they ever
so I know I'm going to love it.
If they ever wanted to get us to watch it, like this was the way. We know this was way.
1000% Kenny Ortega. Many blessings.
I also just want to say something because I was just Googling Kenny Ortega and I accidentally wrote Jenny Ortega. And Jenna Ortega came up. Are they related?
They are not, but it is like one of the most asked questions on Google. It is widely like believed them to be because, nepotism is so popular within Hollywood. Why wouldn't she be his daughter?
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to forget to bring this up, but that Amelia from Perfect Couple is Bono's daughter, which changes things.
I also follow Liz Woods on Instagram.
Which changes things, don't you think?
Yeah, because I was like, how the hell did this girl get cast? She's a terrible actress.
But I wasn't going to say because I thought this was her big break. I was going to look on the positives.
And then a couple of times I was like, is she Irish? She like couldn't do an accent. And when she introduced herself to someone, she's like, oh, I'm Amelia. And I'm like.
And also it's like, why didn't they let her use her native accent if they let everyone else and they just like didn't give a rip about accents?
No, seriously, the TV recap is oozing out of me.
Also, I watched an interview with the cast and the brother, Todd, the oldest brother. Tom is also Irish or something. So it's like.
Maybe it was an Irish production company. No, for real.
Yeah, maybe. We'll have to look into it. Anyways, are you ready for our fifth and final story that's in 2 parts, a bit of reality TV news?
I feel like we had like 11 stories
We
today.
did. There were so many stories. I'm really trying to like cram as many because
it's okay.
I want to talk about everything. Kristen Doute's engaged.
I'm so happy for her. Like, seriously.
Luke Broderick proposed with Kristen Doute's dream engagement ring that she helped design in 2015. The Valley star Kristen just got engaged to her boyfriend of 2 years, Luke, after she dreamt up her massive emerald cut engagement ring nearly a decade before, Page Six Style has exclusively learned. They're told Doute went to a celebrity jewelry designer and good friend
Kyle Chen Designs.
Kyle Chen with her exact idea for a stunning bauble back in 2015. The same year she split from James Kennedy. Though she didn't meet Broderick until 2 summers ago, she soon relayed the ring information to her new beau, who then contacted Chen.
I don't watch The Valley, so can you tell me about their relationship? Like, are we happy? Is he a good guy?
Yeah, he seems like he's definitely the most even keel of all the guys that we've ever seen her be with. He's very different from everyone else that she's dated. He's very chill. It's Kristen who like needs to work on herself a bit, but she's also like on a TV show that she wants to be successful. So you have to take everything with a grain of salt.
I have to say, I have gotten to know her a little bit, and Josh Peck is really good friends with her, and she's been on Good Guys a bunch, and I think people would be surprised to learn she's like actually like very normal and kind of not quiet, but like even more even keeled than you would think. And I think that she's kind of a professional reality star.
Yeah, it is a little crazy the way that she acts, though, because like yes, you're a professional reality star, but those are also your friends. So like,
right?
Could you look out for them?
Right. Just a bit.
But he seems very a good like yin to her
balance.
Yang, and I think this is great.
Okay,
I'm very happy for her. Yeah,
I'm really happy for her too. So this is great, and also good for a reality show. Like making big life changes is good for any reality star.
Yes, and the season 2 of The Valley, which is filming now, like is going to be insane.
Yeah, and it'll be a part of this.
Yeah.
This will be a part of it.
Yeah. And then part B of our fifth and final story is that Molly-Mae has announced her brand new clothing line called Maebe and reveals a super exciting update after announcing the launch. So when Molly-Mae posted her comeback to social media video a few weeks after the breakup, she was like, I'm really not ready, but I have a big project launching next month and I need to be, working and like posting and on social media. So we were all kind of like curious what that big project would be. And she has announced her fashion line, her clothing label, which there was one video that she posted. She's like BTS vibes. And it's called Maebe, Maebe, like Molly-Mae.
Mm-hmm. Cute. Yeah. I think that this is one of those things where you're because now people are like, the breakup was PR. Like, I think actually maybe no, she moved up the launch because like everyone's talking about her on such a global scale. Yeah, her life was ruined. So why doesn't she get one good thing out of it?
I actually think the opposite. Like the breakup was so inconvenient. You have this huge thing launching. Everybody's talking about something else. How can we be talking about the clothing label while not talking about Tommy if like I am going to be? So that's why when she made that video, she was like very honest. Like I have to keep working for a number of reasons. I don't want to talk about Tommy. I'm not really going to talk about anything that happened, but I need to be talking. So I think it actually was inconvenient, but she's like just handling it as best and really authentically, like letting everyone into her process. And she said at the top of her first YouTube video back, like, there will be no explanation. There will just be Maebe.
Just be Maebe.
Right. Because he's the father of her children. It's a very personal, like painful thing for her. That's not her vibe to like air her dirty laundry on the internet. But she has to work, and what her job is creating content about her life. So she's just kind of like putting this in a box, hoping that her fans will just like respect the box and not open it, which we are happy to do as Molly-Mae fans.
And I also think like I love analyzing influencer businesses. I think that this was a really good call for her. She was the creative director of Pretty Little Thing. Like she's very involved in like UK fashion scene.
Yeah.
And I think people love her style. I actually really do like her style too. It's very similar to mine. It's like kind of business casual, if you will.
Yeah.
So I think that's great.
It's like business cool.
Yeah, like trousers, button downs, high-waisted, like literally what I'm wearing today.
No,
like high-waisted shorts.
I am so excited to see what she puts out. However, like, I don't know. I feel like doing a fashion line is more often than not just like a money suck. And I actually saw a clip of Whitney Port on a podcast talking about how when she was doing The Hills, she put everything she made into her clothing line, which at the time was even like successful. I think she had like stores. It was not like a total flop, yet it completely drained all the money that she made and now isn't around anymore. Like, I don't know. I think it's a really big risk and there's so much overhead. It's a lot.
It is. You know, I was thinking about that today because I was on Instagram and I saw Erin Foster and Sarah Foster were getting like a Women's Wear Daily award. And I feel like we didn't even talk about how really successful their clothing company is.
Yeah.
Favorite Daughter. They are kind of, I think, and that's why so many people, they're always surprised when like they find out like a designer or like someone in fashion is like a Nepo kid, because you really need to have money to do it. You're right, like, and that's how a lot of people like end up doing like fast fashion, like literally drop shipping from China, because it's really the only sustainable way. Sustainable financially, not for the environment, obviously.
Even someone else who had done Something Navy. Like who was better poised to have a clothing line, design clothes, have like retail
she had investors.
Pop-ups. She had investors, like the whole kit and caboodle, and like it's so hard to make a go of it. And I can't think of anyone who would have been more poised for success than her. She sells out everything that she wears, but at a certain point, it's just easier to just like keep making money from affiliate links or even do like capsule collections with Nordstrom like she did.
Yeah, or like Amazon Drop does that.
Let them take on like all of the financial burden. The only thing is like you'll never become a billionaire that way.
Right.
But I don't know. It's a really big gamble. And I think Molly-Mae is another one that's like, she's as well suited as anyone to have a success in this.
That's why a lot of the times when people do go out and do their own line, you might not even realize that it's in partnership, even behind the scenes, with somebody big, like a big department store, a big online retailer.
Yeah. So it's hard out there.
It's hard out there, but if it's okay with you, we can move on to the TV recap. It's time. And very appropriately, the TV recap is brought to you by Hulu. The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives is now streaming on Hulu. This is a show we have been so excited to watch. I was keeping up with like the drama. It's about mom talk. So if you are on TikTok and you were following those like that Mormon mom swinging scandal, Hulu gave the girls their own show, which I think was so brilliant. And what I really liked was on the first episode, you could tell the timing that they got the girls was perfect. Like they really just got it right. The second the scandal blew up, like Hulu was like showing up with cameras. So these women blew up overnight on TikTok. They were fully in the spotlight when Taylor Frankie Paul announced that she and the others in the group were involved in swinging. Now they're coming together for this new reality show that gives you an inside look at the secrets, lies, and gossip in mom talk. These women are changing gender roles in the Mormon culture, paving the way for the next generation. And if you don't already know who they are, you are going to after this. The show has drama. It has hair extensions. The show is so good. We're going to talk about it in the TV recap. So stay tuned for that. You can watch the Hulu original series, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. All the episodes are now streaming on Hulu. And I just want to say thank you to Hulu for doing that, for dropping all the episodes at the same time. In this culture, it's a grossly it's a underrated thing to do. And you did it, and we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Today's episode is also brought to you by Dr. Teal's. Dr. Teal's is a core tenant, some would say, here at The Toast. I love bathing. It's the highlight of my day. I take a bath almost every single day, and Dr. Teal's is always in my tub. So you can recover and relax with Dr. Teal's. They are powered by magnesium and essential oils. They're pure Epsom salts and foaming baths, and they offer a variety of other wellness products. You will feel the difference with Dr. Teal's after just one bath. I use all the Dr. Teal's products. They're Epsom salts. Ben loves it because Ben is obsessed with magnesium. He thinks it's like a magic vitamin, and everything, whether he's actually taking magnesium or just like having products that are infused with magnesium, he loves. I love the lavender scent. I use their body wash, obviously as body wash. I also use it to make my bubble baths, but they do have foaming bath products as well. It's just a brand that you can trust. I feel like there's a very sizable difference in their products versus their competitors. I love it. It was a core tenant of Swirly Summer too. We had like the biggest shipment of Dr. Teal sent to our house. The magnesium and the essential oils are fabulous. They make their pure Epsom salts like so much better than other Epsom salts. There's a difference also when it comes to relaxation and recovery. So if you work out and you're prone to getting sore like I am, I take a bath almost every single day, and especially after I do a workout. I immediately come home and take a bath, one, because like of my hair, and two, because I think it really, really helps with recovery. So my favorite scents are lavender. They've scents for everyone. Ben's so eucalyptus coated. Find Dr. Teal's at Walmart or at any major retailer near you. That's Dr. Teal's, TEAL''S. Today's episode is also brought to you by Thrive Market, perfect for the back to school era. Thrive Market is the #1 destination for parents looking for healthy, stress-free grocery shopping for the whole family. During back to school seasons for nut-free snacks, high protein bars, snack packs for lunch boxes, Thrive Market has you and your kids covered as you get back into the school year and into your routine. We love that Thrive Market only allows trusted top quality ingredients while restricting over 1,000 harmful ingredients like artificial flavors, high fructose corn syrup, and more. They make it easy for you to get the right nutrition for your toddler, your teenager, for yourself, with a click of a button. And then you can use the buy it again feature and on-site filters to save time and easily get lunchbox staples and afternoon snacks delivered to your door. So the great thing about Thrive Market is like getting it all, shipped to your door. You can shop online, but also like knowing that they have standards. So you don't have to like read the ingredients on every single thing. You know that if it's on Thrive Market, that it's been thoroughly vetted for kids, for yourself. They have really good snacks. And just because it's like made well doesn't mean it doesn't taste good. That's kind of what I learned with Thrive Market. You really are so good at finding the best things at Thrive Market.
Thank you, Turdy. They make it easy.
They do. And not only do you save time shopping as a Thrive Market member, you're also saving money on every single order. On average, you're saving over 30% every time. They even have a price match guarantee and a deals page that changes weekly. So when you join Thrive Market, you're also helping a family in need with their 1-for-1 membership matching program, which we love. Save time and money. Shop Thrive Market today. Go to thrivemarket.com/thetoast for 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/thetoast, thrivemarket.com/thetoast.
Great.
Okay, TV recap. Which do you want to do first?
Let's do Perfect Couple.
Okay, Perfect Couple, based on a book that Jackie and I absolutely adored, The Perfect Couple by Ellen Hildebrandt, murder mystery set in Nantucket. 6 episodes on Netflix. Cast to the gods: Liev Schreiber, Megan Fahey, Nicole Kidman,
Dakota
Fanning. They could not have done a better job with casting.
They
we were so hyped.
Better budget, better setting, better subject matter and material, and they fumbled the ball.
So give it a score out of 10 because I want to know if we're really on the same page. I'm giving it a 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say 4 or 5, and that's generous.
I fell asleep in middle of one of the episodes. That's saying a lot.
It was absolute chaos. The flow of the show. So many times I had to check the audio settings on my TV. I'm they keep talking over each other. I'm I found it very difficult to watch, and something about it, I feel like whatever the direction was, like, I guess I take for granted, like, shows that flow well, because I didn't realize, like, it could be so hard for, like, a show to have flow. The writing was really bad. Cringe, especially considering, like, it's based on a book. Like, the work was done for you. I feel like Big Red being like, I gave you a perfect routine. The dialogue in the cop scenes was like actually satire. Like that's how SNL portrays like shows like SVU. Well, he done did it and ran. Like no, and then it's like so cringe. The federal agent coming into the local agents and like they're gonna be like, oh, you don't know an oyster shucker. Meanwhile, that kid Will, woof.
Ooh.
Who's been shucking oysters his whole life, just like can't get one open. Why is he like sitting on the beach by himself, like shucking one oyster that he can't even open and splits his hand open?
I don't even know where to begin with my biggest complaint. I think what people love about Ellen Hildebrand books is they're all set in Nantucket, and she's so descriptive. It really makes you want to go to Nantucket. And I've been, but I don't know the island very well. And she really paints such a gorgeous picture. They literally didn't leave the house. Like
no.
There was no beauty. There was no culture. Like where was Nantucket?
Claudia, they didn't even film in Nantucket. They filmed in
town.
Chatham. I think it's like on the Cape. So you still have like those New England vibes, but like they literally had 2 scenes of the town when they had to go to the ferry. They got like access to the ferry and a house, but they couldn't film on Nantucket. But I agree. Ellen Hildebrand books, it's always like, they're always like taking the Jeep out on the beach. Like in the flashbacks.
Sandwiches, the sandwich shops.
Right. Like we would have seen when the fiance like showed her around Nantucket. They were just like in the house all the time or at the beach of the house. There was one scene where she was walking down the beach with Shooter when they like went to go open the house for the season. So what's that, like May? Why did she look like someone like crossing the sea on the Mayflower?
In the middle of January.
No, it was one of the weirdest outfits I ever saw in my life.
No. I was so like sad that we didn't get like in Ellen Hildebrand's books, the main character is Nantucket. Like, so we didn't get any of those beachy summer hydrangea vibes, which was just like a letdown. I remember from the book, and I didn't even remember who did it. So that was like exciting. I got to watch it as like someone who's never, I didn't even care. Like I literally didn't even care.
I remember who did it the entire time, and spoiler, major spoiler, it's Dakota Fanning's character in the book and in the show. However, in the book, it's manslaughter. It's accidental because she tried to drug Isabel, the older woman who was sleeping with her husband, so that she would just go to sleep that night because she was like just.
Oh my God, I don't even remember this.
Yeah, she like nicked Isabel's drink so that she would like fall asleep and not sleep with her husband that night because like she was having an affair with her husband. And then in the show, they have her like intentionally drugging Merritt and then holding her head down and drowning her, which was just like, I felt really unnecessary. And that's why I don't like watching a show that I've read the book, because I'll always compare. But it just turned into something that in the book it wasn't. It was like, you know, who did it? Oh, it was actually her because she drugged someone who wound up going swimming. But in the book, like Merritt like goes for a swim and then gets lost
out.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God, that's so much better, by the way. I remember from the book, like I actually really loved learning about Merritt, right? She was this really like kind of misunderstood girl. She was like, had a reputation for being kind of like loose, right? But she was actually not like that. And then she had this whole career as an influencer. We got no Merritt. And I remember in the book, didn't they film, like, not film, but like there were a lot of scenes back in Manhattan.
Yeah, in the book there was a lot of scenes, like period of first of all, her name is Celeste in the book, but like Amelia in Manhattan when she met Will, Amelia in Manhattan with Shooter, Merritt in Manhattan, like, you know, getting a hotel with Tag, and there was none of that. I guess they literally only had access to the house and they couldn't film anywhere else.
Okay. Can you tell me, because I thought the house looked so familiar, I feel like it was in like Outer Banks or something. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Have we seen this house in any other piece of content?
Not that I realized, no.
Okay. So, also, the main character of the show was Nicole Kidman, right?
Or Amelia?
Fucking Drake Cup.
Also,
oh my God,
Amelia,
she was so Ms.
No. Of course she is. Her best friend just died, and so.
But Jackie, that's not even why she was Ms. She wasn't even like grief stricken. She was just like so miserable.
So she comes into the weekend with a best friend, a fiance, a lover, who she's in love with, and she leaves the weekend with no best friend, no fiance, and she's not going off with Shooter either. In the book, she leaves with Shooter, like they're meant to be together. And like, why would she deny herself that love after all of the loss that she just experienced? Why would she throw away her relationship with Benji, that's his name, for nothing to go work at the zoo in London? Also, is it a criteria if you work at the Central Park Zoo that that's all the clothing that you can wear in your free time? Why did
that was funny.
Every shirt that she had say Central Park Zoo? Like, we get it, she works at the zoo.
Jackie,
Also, God
Nicole,
forbid you show us her at the Central Park Zoo to drive the point home.
Right. Nicole Kidman, like, going to find her in London at the end with her book, like, I seriously was not okay.
No, and she, like, all of a sudden cares about Amelia when she didn't care about, like, why would you have, like, more respect for her now than you did when she was marrying your son? It's not like she did anything, like, remarkable over the course of the 6 months except, like, cheat on your son and leave him brokenhearted.
It was really a very bad show.
And why did they let Nicole Kidman keep her accent but not her hair? Why did she have to wear a wig?
No. I wanted more Megan Fahey so badly. She's such a good actress and she's so beautiful. She's like really a pleasure to watch. We got her in one dress. Like, she didn't have to change outfits the entire time.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for her because this is like a huge moment for her and she probably had to do literally no work. She filmed one scene, the engagement party, and that's it. In the book, we got to know so much more about her life back home. We got none of it. It sucked.
And then Amelia was like, oh, Merritt's not like that. She doesn't sleep around. Like, for her to sleep with someone's like a really big deal. Like, but then we know Tag and we see the way that he's with her. And Merritt's a smart girl, but like she can't see through him, who's like literally giving her nothing and who sleeps with anything that moves. She didn't see that.
She got carried away.
But she's more shrewd than that.
You guys, it was so bad. Like, it was literally so bad.
It was.
And I remember that, like, like, when we found out that she was having an affair with the dad, it was, like, the biggest deal. And it was, like, this huge bombshell they dropped in the middle. Like, I feel like they just kind of, like...
Yeah, no, they kept doing... That was, like, a device that they did where they were, like, big things. They're just going to, like, drop it, like, not bigly. Like, Nicole Kidman even seeing the bracelet... They just like showed us that. And I guess that's like a cool thing for, it didn't work for me because I had already read the book. So like I knew that. But yeah, a strange way to like drop big information. Also like Merritt asking Benji to paint her and then giving her best friend's fiance a photograph of her in a bikini. Like, it's not speaking highly of Merritt.
No, it was very, like, they didn't do a good job of like really like character development.
Characters that made sense. Wait, Claudia,
right.
The craziest part, Amelia's mom is dying, and due to this circumstance, they all get stuck in one house together for, let's say, 2 weeks. And she's not spending every waking minute with her dying mother when she just lost her best friend. The family of her fiance might have killed her best friend and is making her sign NDAs, and she can't trust them. And she doesn't even like her fiance to begin with.
No, but she's running around fucking her ex-fiance, making out with Shooter, and her mom is quietly suffocating in the room next door. It's absurd.
No, and the scene where she has sex with her ex-fiance at the book launch party where like he's wasted. I'm sorry, if the gender roles were reversed, that would be like completely wrong. And so how is it not
awful.
Wrong? She was
awful.
She was awful.
No, okay. Shooter, like, I wasn't sure. He half the time had an accent because he is supposed to be like a diplomat from
India.
India. Half the time he had an accent, half the time he didn't.
Yeah.
So sometimes I felt like it was intentional, and with Amelia, I think it slipped out a couple of times. She couldn't pronounce her own name without sounding Irish.
She's Bono's daughter, by the way.
Yes.
So if you're wondering,
it's a beautiful day.
How and why. Also, the character of Celeste in the book was not, they changed her personality completely with Amelia. Like, Amelia is much more confident and outgoing and brazen. The first scene, she like walks out into the yard in her negligee, like titties out, ass out, wondering why her mother-in-law like wants her to cover up.
To save the ladybug. Girl, open a window.
Like, stop. In the book, like, Celeste was like very meek and very shy and very overwhelmed by everything and just like had like much less outspoken. So I thought it worked better that way. Versus, like, how did Amelia find herself in this situation and why? If she doesn't like Benji, she's not the type that would just, like, do something just to do it. And she didn't even she actually hated their money. So, like, why are you here?
Right. The relationship also with the press, like, really bothered me. Because I can only think of, like, a contemporary example as, like, Colleen Hoover, right? Mm-hmm. The biggest author of all time. Seriously, nobody knows anything about her personal life. Nobody cares.
No,
the way
Colleen
they acted like
Hoover's
she was...
son's fiance didn't come to her book launch party, like, I don't think there would be a lot of questions. And the bigger question would be like, why wasn't Colleen Hoover's husband there? Because he was in jail. So Amelia has to go, or else it's all these red flags. But Tag isn't there, and that's right. The book is about him. He's not there, but we're not gonna be so worried about that.
It was a very bad show. And it reminded me a lot of, like, they really wanted it to be like The Undoing, with also Nicole Kidman, that HBO show, and Hugh Grant. And the whole time it was like a whodunit, and it was so good. Like, till the very last fucking minute, we all were on the edges of our seats. They so wanted it to be like that. Like, when they said who it was, I was like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Her character, like, made no sense, too.
None. I couldn't get a read on her at all.
Yeah.
Bad, like literally bad. I was so disappointed. I hate
like,
to be a hater.
In the book, her character obviously like has like selfish intentions, but in this show, she's like a cold-blooded killer. Like there is a very big difference. Like they're living with a killer.
Yeah.
A pregnant killer.
Yeah, like literally made no sense. Anything else before we talk about Hulu's Lives, Mormon Lives?
I could keep going on every character and every scene.
It was so bad.
We didn't even talk about the little brother, because in the book there was not an insufferable little brother who had his own storyline that we could.
How do you remember so much about the book?
That's what I do. Like there was, I think there was probably a little brother, but like he wasn't like taking his sailboat out in the middle of the night, like and crying.
Yeah, with the daughter of the detective,
Claudia. Like, make it stop.
No, it was really who
was in love with Merritt, a little brother.
Oh right, yes, thank you.
Right.
It was like actually a piece of shit.
It was
just
a
know
piece
I'm
of
not
shit.
talking. And by the way, I don't know if I've ever seen Liev Schreiber act in anything. I love him, but I don't know, because his thing is that movie Taken, right? Like that series. I never saw it.
No, that's Liam Neeson.
Oh fuck. Okay. Well, I don't think I've ever seen him act in anything. And let me just say this: I love him. He's so hot, and he is very talented.
Yeah. He held it down. He did his part.
So did Merritt. They gave her nothing to work with, Megan Fahey. Oh, we need to talk about the theme song.
Oh, I mean, the most redeeming part of the entire show. And what's so crazy is I saw a story, like the cast really was against it. They started like a WhatsApp group chat to like be like, we don't want to do this.
Well, I want to say I loved it. It made no sense. Like, it was just another part of this hodgepodge of crap.
Yeah.
But I loved it. Every time it came on, the song is so good. They had Meghan Trainor write an original song. You know we're gonna do it again. Like, loved. And okay, cute. Everybody looked cute in the dance mob. I love to see everybody. It made no sense.
Yeah, it was.
I understand why they were against it.
If the show was good, it would have been like great. But because the show was bad, it's like, well, we wasted the good intro on this.
No, and the intro doesn't make sense in the context of.
Well, it's like they're all dancing because they're at an engagement party, and I saw some behind the scenes. There was like a group hug, and they left out Liev Schreiber. I didn't like that.
I saw that too. Liev Schreiber getting left out of the group hug.
I didn't like it.
I mean, he's a grown man on this stupid set of a stupid show. Like,
so we're a family.
I love to see Megan Fahey like moving up in this world. You know, I think a lot of people were like, "What is she going to do after White Lotus?" And I think this was great for her career. Like, I actually do. And I'm glad she wasn't in it that much, because it wasn't good. Like, the parts with her were the best parts.
And Nicole Kidman, like, I love her. She can do no wrong. But I think, like, the next thing she does, like, it needs to be a departure. Like, we've had enough of, like, the woman worrying in the window.
Big Little Lies. Like, the woman worrying in the window. Yeah.
It's time for something new.
Agreed. And I love Nicole Kidman. She can do no wrong. But she did a lot of wrong in this. She was not good.
And then a major twist in the show that was not in the book is that she was an escort. And that's why she doesn't leave, because he's going to expose her.
Okay, oh, wait. When her and her brother were sitting in the police station and they had to pull the truth out of them, it literally wasn't scandalous at all.
No, and it's like, why do you want to stay in this police station when you know this could get you off? Also, like, the police don't have your guys' real names to know that you're brother and sister. Oh, and you could just say in an interrogation room, anyone is your brother, and they'll let you leave.
This particular police station was filled with some of the dumbest people I've ever fucking met.
Yeah.
And that, like, FBI agent from Boston, like, when she was talking to Dakota Fanning, like, waiting for her husband, like, doing, like, secret police work, but, like, having a conversation. Like, seriously, cringe Miggy.
The older brother was one of my favorite characters.
Agreed. He was funny and he was a good actor.
And because he was the only one, like, who was being mean to the people I didn't like Benji. Like, when he went to eat the wedding cake, like, what the fuck else are you going to do with it?
No, Benji was seriously like weenie. And I actually liked in the beginning when she was saying how she loves him, but she's like not attracted to him because he's like not like manly. He like paints and like doesn't like fuck her the way she wants to be fucked, like on all fours. I loved that. Like,
well,
I really
felt like
loved that.
she wanted to have sex with him that way so she didn't have to look at him and she could imagine it was Shooter.
Oh, that too. But
when he wanted to turn her around, she was like, don't look at me.
Yes, but when she was talking to Megan Fahey before, she was like, I love him, but I don't like want him. What did she say exactly? Because he's like soft.
Oh, I thought it's because she's in love with Shooter. It's hard to like want one person when your heart is somewhere else.
Maybe. The fact that like we don't know is just proof how the show did a bad job.
And they didn't develop her relationship with Shooter at all. In the book, it was like there were a couple times where they were put alone together and they spent time together and it was like clear, you know, they were like really sweet and cute together. And then in the show, it was like that one night.
I was like, how do you guys even know each other?
The B train.
The B train.
And it's like, okay, so they're not liquid, this family, because Tag's money is tied up in trust and Nicole Kidman is paying for everything based on one book a year, which definitely millions, but like at the level that they're living, like they need their millions. Yet they're chartering a huge private plane to fly up Amelia
30 minutes and Shooter
to Nantucket for a weekend.
Dumb. Made no sense.
When they could obviously like fly commercial, they could drive, they could take a smaller plane. No. And
I know we'd do it again.
Relax. Don't do
it. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay, Hulu, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I only watched the first episode, and I'm going to say this. The one I know most from, and by the way, Hulu is a sponsor of today's show. This recap is not sponsored. We actually watched it like of our own volition.
We would be recapping the show even if they weren't a sponsor.
1,000%, but just know like that ad was an ad, and this is not. Like we're saying our true thoughts.
Yeah.
Taylor was the one I was like most familiar with.
Of course.
She like started the whole thing, and I knew that in real life, like she does get pregnant. She just had the baby, so I didn't know that she miscarried, which was really sad. The other girls, I have such a hard time
keeping them apart. It's going to take some
time.
They keep changing
their hair color.
It's going to take some time. I've got a few nailed down, but
Whitney, I know Whitney from her eyebrows,
and her hair like is shorter. She looks like a little bit different. Now I know Macy. She keeps her hair the same. And she has like a person. Actually, I know Michaela too now at this point. And the four of them are the original Mom Talk swingers. Now, here's my big question, of course. Whose husband did Taylor catch feelings for and have an affair with? And that woman is standing by her man.
So when it unraveled on social media and now also in the show, they are not telling us. And not only that, the big question for me is who was a part of it and who was, because Taylor says everyone was a part of it. You ask all of them, they said, no, I wasn't. Right. Who was?
To me, it seems like the four OGs were a part of it. Taylor, Whitney, Michaela, Macy. And then one of their husbands and Taylor like took things
too far.
Extracurricular.
Yeah, Taylor's like a tough watch, right? She's makes poor decisions. She's kind of like reckless, and her mom was really harsh with her, but I think especially her mom is like super conservative and religious and like uptight. It's even harder to watch. But that scene at the very end where they were talking about Whitney, she brought everyone over to like share her big truth, big reveal, and then like
the big
Taylor,
reveal, which she was definitely obfuscating, is that her husband, yes, was on Tinder, and that he was having like digital relations with women, sending pictures back and forth as part of a larger porn addiction.
And I think, you know, that was the big thing. And then Taylor just like sort of drops like her drama. And her story is a story worth telling, right? You know, she had a miscarriage, so sad. Time and place, I don't know.
I don't know either.
And then Whitney got all mad. And I kind of agreed with her, even though Whitney, okay, let me send you this video. You might not know Whitney, but you might have seen this incredibly viral video that people are now putting together is her.
Oh, okay. Send it to me. And also their show, like as someone who I actually think I know the smallest bit about Mom Talk, that like it was a group of Utah Mormon moms and they were swinging. That's literally all I knew. So the show is like explaining it to me and they're doing a pretty good job, but I actually feel like I still have even more questions about.
Look at the thing I just sent you. Do you remember the video of that mom who went viral? She was asked a question about her baby who's in the NICU and she's dancing in the NICU.
Yes.
That's Whitney.
Oh my God, I've not even seen the original video. I've only seen like other people's takes on it.
Yep.
I've seen like someone being like, post this and then switch, like split screen the baby.
Yeah, like you need to keep that in mind that Whitney is this person who thought that this would be a good idea. Because to me, it says a lot about her character.
Wait, I'm watching it. Lily was taken in because of low oxygen. He tested positive for RSV. Oh my God. He's wearing like a neck brace.
Oh, yeah, her baby's in the NICU, like right in the video, like silently suffering.
Because so far, I'm like, she seems to be, as much as there is like the moral compass of the show, as much as
tries to be. But now it's like, well, she left town and told everyone she left because of the mom talk drama, but she was actually really dealing with a scandal. And I do think her coming and telling the group, she didn't have to do that, right? Yeah. Everybody had kind of moved on from those rumors about him being on Tinder. That conversation with her husband, like, and he was crying on the couch, like talking about his addiction.
But it's like, at that point, we didn't know what the addiction was. So I'm like, well, what did you do?
I was just like, please, like, I'm begging you, sir, stop crying.
Yeah.
Stop crying in front of me.
And so now they're all influencers. So there's the 4 OGs and then like a larger group. They're all influencers. They actually had a conversation, I think it's in episode 2, about how they're all the breadwinners in their family. But that also, ever since Taylor's arrest, brand deals have gone down because people don't want to for everyone. They don't want to be like associated. What if one of them, like in a few weeks, is
no? Because at first it was like, you know, moms being moms. Like, what brand wouldn't want to get involved in that?
Yeah.
And then the swinging was like, and I'm just surprised more of the girls aren't furious at Taylor. Now, I think they're putting it to the side for the sake of the TV show.
Yeah, because now they have a TV show and they do need their views back up and they are the breadwinners in their family. But yeah, what she did was really crazy.
Atrocious.
And then also one of them, she was like off with the husband.
It's also incredible how big of a role Reddit plays in this show.
I thought the same.
They all scroll Reddit. They give so much credit to like these baseless rumors.
Yeah, they really do. And I feel like they tailor their content to it. They like address stuff based on it. And I wonder what it would be like if they didn't, if they just like existed. But I think it's like part of the ecosystem. Like, those are also the people who like watch Mom Talk. So they're like feeding them too. And that's just like where the community lives. But yeah, they were like, every other word is like, I saw this on Reddit. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I was shocked. And they're like putting screenshots from Reddit on Hulu.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
But so here's what's confusing. The first episode ends domestic violence arrest. The next episode begins, Taylor is about 8 months pregnant. And
what?
Yeah, and she's having her baby shower. She's getting ready for her baby shower. And just there's this huge jump in time that...
Right, because she's just miscarrying, so that takes a couple of months, 8 months pregnant. That's like maybe a year.
Yeah. Why did they pause filming? Was the original first episode meant to just be like a documentary about...
No, they filmed a pilot. And then it takes a year to get like a full production company to pick it up. That's it. Sorry. That happened, remember, with the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City?
Yes, but the first episode wasn't things from the year from a year ago. They
cut it out.
They referenced it here and there, but like,
So this was the pilot that they shopped around. Hulu picked it up, I think, and the rest of the episodes were paid for by Hulu to produce.
Got it.
I understand. Okay, sorry. Yes.
I wish I would have explained. I'm like, did Taylor like call off the cameras because of everything that happened and she wasn't ready to pick back up for 8 months?
And maybe they shouldn't have included that first episode as episode 1, but it provided a lot of context.
Yeah.
And most importantly, the arrest, which I think was huge news. So that's why they included it. Whereas like with Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, they shot the pilot. I think they actually shot a couple of episodes and then scrapped it once the show got picked up and they started filming like a year later, and they referenced stuff. But I think with the arrest, they couldn't let go of that OG footage.
So then the rest of the season is like Taylor's pregnancy and stuff, like more current stuff.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I only watched one episode.
I watched episode 2.
I'm gonna finish it. Me and Ben are really enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish it too. It's good and it's very interesting, and I'm learning a lot. Like the Mom Talk stuff like isn't redundant for me because I've never even seen these videos. So in between scenes, they like add videos of their TikToks. I'm like literally frantically trying to read the caption because I like want to see what they're about and like why they have so many views and stuff. And I can understand it. Like they're beautiful women. Their lives are so interesting, and they're creating like fire content that is relatable to a lot of moms.
It's like wife, mom, family humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
While also being like gargy pargy. Yeah. People want to watch
women. That. Yeah. They all look so similar.
And it's also crazy how young they all are. Like I think the oldest
one. Michaela's 23.
Yeah. There's Layla's
and that was
22.
Weird. So she met her husband when she was like 16 and he was like a senior in college. Like if you do the math, he was 24 or something.
He was like 21 and she got pregnant, so they got married and now they have 3 kids. I also need them to say with their age how many kids they have. That would just be like useful.
So that's your TV recap. So glad we got that off our chest. And that's your show for today. So thank you so much for listening to the Toast and Millennial Morning Show, where we deliver the fast 5 stories that you need to do every Monday through Friday on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, please feel free to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. We're also available as podcasts and where podcasts can be found. So that's Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Public Radio, iHeartRadio, Castbox, all the places. Where you listen to podcasts about Us the Toast. Leave a 5-star review about a beautiful, stunning, and wickedly talented we are. Have an amazing day.
Love ya. Bye.